Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live show this week, Grow Wealthy Grooming. I want to thank you guys so much for being here live with me. I know it's been a little bit of craziness since I've been away. So that you guys know, I went away to the CFMG, Certified Feline Master Groomer Beach Retreat down in Myrtle Beach. And then I was down in San Diego to do the Entrepreneur Experience, which is all about learning about how to take care of you guys from an online standpoint. So I'm so excited to be here this week. Thank you so much for being here live. And this week of Grow Wealthy Grooming, we're going to be talking about why do your customers ask for discounts? So I know this is a complicated conversation. So I want to first start with those of you guys that don't know me. My name is River Lee. I am the founder of The Savvy Groomer. I teach personal finance to pet groomers. For those of you guys that don't know me, I went from living in my car to owning several businesses. I now teach students internationally using my online course called Personal Finance on a Leash, which is a 12-week course where we walk you through how to go from surviving to living to thriving. I've been in the grooming industry over 10 years and I love it. I currently own a feline exclusive mobile business. It's really my heart and my soul. So let's get started. And if you want to learn more about me, feel free to go to my website, savvygroomer.com. So this was actually inspired by the question I got, a question I was answering in a Facebook group. And the question was, what do you say when clients ask for a discount? Now, everyone has different business models. Everyone has different ways of going about their business. There are things that you like to do that I might hate, and vice versa. So I'm going to preface it with that. You have to do what's best for your business. And don't let anyone tell you what's best for your business unless if you're your business coach. So my answer to the question of what do you say when clients ask for a discount was I ask them why. Then I shut up and listen. It's an opportunity to educate them or consider their feelings. A lot of times they simply don't understand what we do and why we charge what we do. And I was really shocked at how much pushback I got in the group. But that's going to happen because not everyone's going to agree. And sometimes we all have to agree to disagree because that's just life, honestly. So with that, I got people saying that it was rude and that no one should ever ask for a discount. So let's think about for a moment why someone might ask for a discount. If I ask them why, what are some potential answers they're going to give me? They're probably going to ask, do you do multiple pets? Now, this may be somebody who's considering getting another dog or maybe even 2 puppies. And they're like, man, should I get this? Is this going to be too much money? Maybe if I get 3 dogs, it'll be less money. And then that's up to you if you want to do multi-pet. Do I personally? I do after 4, or if there are 4 pets at one stop. So if someone wants to bring, have a girls' day and like a girls' coffee day, or, I have one client who she has a bunch of Persians and her sister-in-law has a bunch of Persians and they kind of meet at the house and have coffee while I do all the cats. That's one option. And I will give a discount because instead of driving across town and going to her house, now I have to do one. Do I give a deep discount? No. No, I do not. But I do give them a little bit of it because it makes my life a lot simpler. And that's just the truth. Do I do that for everyone? No. But as a business owner, that's what I have chosen to do. So one thing might be they're assuming that what they're doing is going to give you more business or easier. With multi-pet, again, you may say, you know what? It takes the same amount of time to do 4 dogs as it does, whether or not you're in the same household. And that's accurate. Like in my shop, I didn't do multi-pet discounts because it didn't matter. You were still taking up a kennel of another person. But with my van, because I'm going to multiple stops, going to a house with 6 cats is a lot less time than doing 1 cat, checking out, scheduling, going to the next client, getting the cat, grooming the cat, check out, scheduling. So I'm going to save a lot of time and a lot of energy. So to me, that wouldn't make sense. At my shop, it didn't make any sense because ultimately, you're coming all at once. And in fact, it's kind of more of a pain in the butt because then if you cancel, now I have to fill 6 spots versus, now mobile. If someone with 6 cats cancels, I'm like, I got the day off. Happy as a clam. So that might be one reason why they might. Now it's up to you to educate them in a polite manner because a lot of times I hear groomers saying it's rude. And when I ask why it's rude, then I don't generally get a lot of answers, but if I were to assume why it's rude, it's because the groomer is assuming that client doesn't appreciate the groomer. And that's just not always the case. There are people that are assholes who are going to do that. There are people who are going to say that, oh, can I have a discount because they're cheap? But a lot of people just want to know what discounts you offer. And assuming that your client is cheap is it's a really, I mean, that's rude to me. As somebody who spends I spend an obscene amount of money at Starbucks. I asked them when I first joined if there were any discounts, and there was. They actually have this great program where it used to be every like so many coffees, and now it's so many dollars I spend, I get a free cup of coffee. So I'm like, oh, score, perfect. That's great. I'm super happy as a clam. But that's a discount. You may say it's a loyalty program or it's this or it's that. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't have known unless if they told me about it or I asked about it. And that's a high-end company. You guys know that I'm very fond of Tiffany's. Did you know that Tiffany's offers a discount on engagement rings to military personnel? And for those of you guys that, my ex-husband is Navy, he's a Navy veteran. And he would ask all the time, do you offer military discount? Because we'd always be surprised at how many places were so generous to help out veterans. And we really appreciate that. I think we saved 10 or 20% on my engagement ring because he was a military veteran. That's amazing. That saves us a ton of money. So without being able to ask, now these are high-end companies. You're talking Starbucks, Tiffany's, Nordstrom. Yes, you're not going to probably get a discount at Nordstrom. However, they created a whole other business, Nordstrom Rack, for those more discount shoppers. And that's okay. So they would say, you might go to Nordstrom and say, hey, do you have a sale? Is there anything you can do? I'd be like, we don't at this store. However, we have an outlet. And you don't have to be the outlet. No one's saying you have to be. All we're saying is that that person wants to just know what their options are. And for me, I think when you assume that someone is you're insinuating that those people are trying to attack your level of quality. And that's a huge disservice because this is, again, a chance for education. This is a chance to educate your client. And that to me is one of the most important things personally. And in fact, I had said it's not rude to ask for a discount. Asking for discounts is very common, especially in America, but even more so in other cultures. I mean, I'm sure, if you've ever been, when I went to Morocco, everything was negotiated. Nothing was meant to be that price. Anything I wanted from food in a restaurant, even, I use the word restaurant very kind of loosely. And then when I go to Mexico, everything is meant to be haggled. Haggling is sometimes a huge part of people's culture, but even in America, when was the last time you guys went to a car lot and just paid this price? And in fact, I know you guys don't think of it this way, but let's be honest, on the flip side, if you think asking for discounts is rude, then on the flip side, do you think offering upsells is rude? Because essentially what you're doing is doing what you're saying being rude for discounts in reverse. You're saying, hey, that price you're willing to pay, are you willing to pay more? Isn't that the same line of thought as asking if a discount's rude? I personally think that if what I'm asking for an upsell makes sense, and I'm serving that client, it's one of the best things I can do. Most of my clients really don't have upsells. In fact, the discount I offer is in the beginning when I was trying to get people on a 4-week schedule, I included a D-shed with my 4-week cat clients. Why? Because they were pretty much D-shedded anyway. And it just made them look nicer and it made them more presentable, which made it easier to sell them on staying on 4 weeks. And they got a $20 discount. And by doing that, I got more loyal customers. But again, giving away free services is a form of a discount. They didn't ask for it, but I was able to give it to them. But had they asked me, hey, is there a discount if I come every 4 weeks? I'd be like, why, yes. If you come every 4 weeks, I will give you a free D-shed. And they'd be like, wow, that's a great value. And again, but if you don't want to discount any of your services, no one's asking you to. No one's forcing you to. Please do not think on any level I am suggesting that you should. What I'm saying is when your client is asking it, consider what is their motivation. Um, another example is I get what's called a Brazilian blowout, which is why my hair is beautiful and straight right now. My hair grows like a palm tree. Hashtag real life. And it's expensive. It's like $400. So sometimes there are discounts. Sometimes they have a sale, and that sale can be as low as $199. That's saving almost $200. That's like a 50% cut. So I will ask them, when is your next sale? Is that because I don't appreciate the hairdresser at $400? No, but if you're going to cut the price in half, I want to know when that's happening because why wouldn't I want to save $200? Why wouldn't I would rather give my hairdresser $100 tip, than pay the salon that money because she's not getting commission. It's in the salon. And if the salon chooses to put the pricing at 50% to get more people in, that's their decision. But it's not that I'm cheap. It's just that I'm already getting the service. Why not get the service at a better price? And I do ask why, because the truth is, I don't want to pay the extra $200 if I don't. I would rather tip my hairdresser. And I know a lot of times we forget because we are, for the most part, the salon owner. But a lot of times, if you have employees, those employees, this is why we want to keep payroll down to 30%. If you're going to have a flash sale or a big sale, this allows you to get more people in the door or maybe even people in at lower times. An example I would use honestly is so in my area in January and February, it's very slow. We are in a 4-season area where so we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, people blow all their money. Let's be real here. And then January, February, it is hot. I'm sorry, not hot. It is freezing and snowy. It is definitely not hot. That is not what happens here. Although it is in Australia where they have almost the opposite problem. But it is freezing cold and it's snowing and people don't want to come out. So for cat grooming, I may have to close because of snow. And on the flip side, when I had my shop, people would want to come, but they may not be able to come because of everything going on with the weather. And so with that, I want you to think about what, personally, like when I had my shop, now mind you, I didn't give a multi-dog discount at my shop. But in the wintertime, what I did is that I would incentivize people who would come in the wintertime. Why? Because I didn't want them to wait 8 weeks. Clients that would come every 4 weeks, I didn't want them to wait 8 weeks. Because then because not only are it's like the most backwards thing. In the wintertime, they want them long and they want them fluffy. And I'm like, yeah, but when you have a wet dog, like when you go into snow, for those of you guys that don't have snow, when you have a fluffy dog and it goes in the snow, they just get covered and wet. And that owner is not brushing that dog. That owner is not blow drying that dog. So now they are wet, covered in snow, and it's bad. It's all bad. Now they're matted and they're wet and they're like, it's cold and it's miserable. And then they come in 8 weeks and it is a 10 strip. Like they are bald. Like it is Mr. Clean. And that sounds like it's okay because January, February, and that's like March. March in my area may be warm, maybe not. And nobody's happy. Nobody wants a bald dog. It's just not. I have a standard poodle and she's pretty short right now, but she's not that short. It's not fun. Because we don't know when we're going to get snow. We could get snow today or we could get snow in January. But if we get 4 feet of snow, the last thing I want is a long poodle who has not been groomed in 8 weeks. But customers don't know this. We know this because we deal with it on a daily basis. They don't know this because it's not their profession. Let me just look. Yeah. And that's, so when I'm sorry, I don't want to get off topic, guys. So, and if you guys are here, you're welcome to say hi. If you have more questions, feel free to type it into the box. Please feel free to do any of that. So then again, you might be saying, okay, well, why else might they be asking? Another reason might simply be because they want to increase their frequency, but they're not really sure if it's a wise thing to do. And a lot of that comes down to they don't understand what we do. So I loved my clients, my dog clients, on a 4-week haircut and then a 2-week bath. So they would do, haircut, bath, haircut, bath. And what I loved about that is I was able to maintain them between their grooms, which was fantastic. And they didn't have to brush their dog. It's a really solid plan. But with that, I mean, if I had someone ask me, hey, if I come every 4 weeks and then I do a bath in 2 weeks, is there a discount? That's a great question. And it depends on your business model because some people might be willing to say yes. I normally charge, let's say $40 for a bath, and that dog is coming in every 4, 8, 12 weeks or 6 months, a year. But hells yeah, if you want to come in between your groom and whatever, like we'll make that 50% because you're paying a $10 an hour bather anyway. And you're like, hey, $10 an hour bather, get some practice here. Bathe and blow dry the standard poodle and, practice a little bit of beveling it. You might be doing that. That may be your business model. And again, you do not have to do it. You may want to do that. So that's the tough part. Grace Dawson is saying, did you ever watch Cheaper by the Dozen? I haven't. That's no, I'll have to add it to my list though. Thank you. But so with that, I want you guys to think about, okay, is that part of my business model? And if it's not, that's okay. Don't let anyone bully you. If a client's like, well, that's stupid, be like, well, I would generally say, I totally respect that, but due to the time, care, and attention that your pet needs to receive, I cannot lower my prices because I would not be able to be that person. And that's important to me. It's important for me to keep up my quality. And that's a perfectly reasonable answer. You don't have to tell them any of that stuff. Okay. And you don't have to go into it. If they want to argue with you, just say, thank you so much. It's really not something that I'm willing to work with right now. And that's completely up to you. And with that, again, if you want to offer that discount to that person, you can. And to me, in my last business model, that made a lot of sense to me because I did have a bather. I always had a bather, and it was a lot easier for me to have my bather bathe and blow dry a dog that had been groomed 2 weeks prior versus having a dog that hadn't been bathed in 4, 8, 12 weeks. That's just the truth. They're going to have less coat. They're going to be better behaved, and they're going to be a lot easier to maintain for me. And then 2 weeks, my groomer was a lot happier to have a dog that had just been bathed 2 weeks ago because then it was a lot easier to groom because the hair wasn't all matted up. Or honestly, like it was just a lot easier. The bath went quicker. Things went faster. So in that business model, I did. Mobile, I can't. A dog, I should say rather now because I'm a cat, but even with you guys that are mobile dogs, like a dog you just bathed and blow dried 2 weeks ago, now doesn't make any sense. Like you still got to make the stop. You still got to do all the check-in and checkout. It's still going to take you around the same time. You might save 15 minutes, but 15 minutes really isn't worth it to you. Let me look at another reason. I have my notes down here, guys. I'm so sorry if I keep looking down, but I have my notes right here. Okay. Perfect. So we talked about frequency and we talked about both frequency of time being groomed and also the amount of being groomed. Another thing that they might want a discount for. So let's say they may ask, hey, if I bathe my own dog, can I get a discount? And again, you might be like, what are you, nuts? Like you're going to go take your poodle and put it in the tub and like rub it with Dawn and let it run around the house. And you think that's what I do. So you might at first get really upset at them, But then I want you to actually think about how little clients understand what we do. How many times do we have hairdressers that say, "Oh, I'm gonna maintain my own dog at home," or, "Oh, I have a Himalayan," which is like the cat, the most insanely high maintenance cats. Persians, Himalayans, lots of coat, lots of effort. I'm gonna just like do this at home. And you're like, okay. That's like us groomers being like, yeah, I'm just gonna like dye my hair at home. You know, they think they have the skill set. They don't understand what we do. They don't. I mean, I can't even tell you guys, like, I know being a cat groomer, and I hate saying this kind of a snotty way because I was a dog groomer who happened to groom cats for a long time. And now I'm a cat groomer. As a CFMG, dog groomers don't understand what I do. Like my bath and blow dries are nothing like they were when I was a dog groomer for cats. Like it was just like not the same. So that said, that client may not understand what we do. And so if they said, "Hey, if I bathe my own poodle at home, can I get a discount?" And then you have to say, "I really appreciate you that, you don't have to. You don't actually have to say that if you don't want to. I would say, let me say this. I would say, I really appreciate the thought. However, it's really hard to get a professional blowout on your dog at home. Just like I wish I could get a blowout like I do when I go to a hair salon at home. I don't have the skill set, and I often used to explain to dog groomers just like that. I should say dog clients like that. I would tell them, like, you don't have a $600 high velocity dryer. You just don't. You don't have the patience and the setup to sit there and blow that hair out so that it's ready to be cut. And if it's not properly blown out, I can't give it a good haircut. And I don't want you to get a subpar haircut. A, for my reputation, but also because your dog deserves the whole enchilada. And they may go, "Oh, well, I get that now." And then don't be afraid to take some video and say, "Hey, I'm going to just send you a couple of videos, just like, I mean, literally like 30 seconds at each step of like what a wet poodle looks like." Like a lot of times, if you guys go to self dog washes, it's kind of embarrassing. Like they're like washing their dog and it's like the top layer of hair. It's not to the root. So take a quick 30-second video of their dog completely immersed in shampoo. When the dog's head is all flat, it's all the way down, and just show them, say, "See how I get it all the way down to the skin," and maybe like watch, like rub their like feet or something, or or like lift their tail, not like in a gross way, but lift the tail up and say, "Make sure you get all in the Brazilian area," and they're gonna be like, "Oh, maybe not," and then put the dog in the dryer. Have a picture of you with you guys should be wearing hearing protection, head protection, I should say ear protection, maybe your goggles on, and have that blow dryer blowing loud. And you're like, make sure the dog's not panicking, and blow drying a leg and say, "See, this is like where we're at as far as with the leg. I'm going to be doing this." And they can hear like this insane blow dryer for 30 seconds. "We're going to do this for like another 25 minutes. And then he's going to be ready for a haircut." And he's all fluffed out before the haircut. See, they saw their dog before and then after. Because, my standard, who has hair like this long, when she's dirty, her hair looks this long. When she, then you blow it out, it's like this long. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So they may not understand that because the end product they may think is the actual hair cutting, which some of it is. But a lot of it, I would say personally, 2/3 of it is actually the bath and blow dry. Without a good bath and blow dry, you're never going to get a good groom. So, again, I understand it's annoying to give them that education, but by giving them that education, you're going to be the go-to authority. A lot of times you want to pretend like they should just trust it. And the problem with just trusting them is, why should they trust you? They'd literally see all over social media that like pets are dying in grooming salons. They don't want to assume you're this bad guy, but you're going to sound like an asshole and a bad guy if you don't help them. Just, give them a little bit of information. And I know it sounds silly to take a 30-second video of each of these things, but you can also use that in your social media postings. And again, to show other clients, because unless if we are the people to teach them, the people that are going to teach them are the crazies. The crazies, I tell this story all the time. I went down in New Jersey when they were having all of the licensing talks. And did you know a woman actually said that she has to go to the vet to get her French bulldog's nails clipped because she's afraid groomer's going to quick the nail and the dog's going to bleed to death. She really honestly believes and was told by someone that a dog could bleed to death by having its nails clipped. And that's ridiculous. And we were like, "What? Who told you this?" It doesn't even matter, because the honesty is that unless if there was a groomer there to educate her that yes, a quick nail is not something we like to see, but it's like a paper cut. You're not going to die unless you have some medical disease from a paper cut. But these are things. So that's another one. Hey, can I get a discount if I cut my own dog's nails? That's up to you. If that dog is Satan, you may want to be like, yes, for $5, I'm not doing Satan's nails. No problem. Or you might be like, nope, it's included in the price, and we don't do that. And I personally don't. If someone doesn't want something that's already in my service, I don't cut the price. And I don't cut the price if I can't do it because your dog is Satan. However, if you offer, I will probably do that, because I don't, because if you know he's Satan and you're willing to just like for $5, just, or like not ear pluck. Like I know ear plucking is kind of controversial now, but like, the schnauzers that are like Satan for their ears and for their nails is one of those like dogs that are like, possessed. And they're like, oh, for $5, will you not do their nails and ears? Big, yes, your dog is evil. So yes. Or you might, because then I feel like for me, that's a good deal. Good deal. And then I'd be like, oh, for $5, would you? No, not for all the teen China, my dear. No. So again, depends on your business and depends on your personality. So 90% of the time, I'm like, nope, it's included in the price. But if I know that dog is awful, then I might. Let me again look at my notes. So I apologize for it. So I actually used a really great example in this post, and I love sharing these things. I'm never going to shame anybody. Everybody has their own opinion, and please do. I want everyone to have their own opinions, their own insights. Everything is your business, your everything. I'm going to offer my opinion, and you're welcome to just say, "Guts, River." Like, I don't care what you have to say. So please don't worry about it. If you don't agree with me, that's okay. I am just another opinion, and you've got to find your own. So one thing that they had said is that if a personal trainer came to your house to provide individual services, if you asked for a discount, like a high volume gym, that would be rude. And I thought my response was pretty straightforward. And my response was, and I've had personal trainers. I've spent a lot of money on personal trainers. I used to, so this is where I know I'm talking about. Now, they didn't come to me. I went to a personal training only studio because I didn't want a strange hot man in my house. Why didn't I think of this? That would have been nice. Missed opportunity, not like in a weird way, but like in a, like, oh no, it's so hot in here. Just take your shirt off. That'd be nice. But anyway, so I explained that it's very common to save money on large packages. So I prepaid my year's worth of personal training. So it went from about $150 an hour to it ended up being like a third of that by prepaying for the entire year. And I'm sure the personal trainer would be delighted if the students asked, hey, instead of once a week, do you offer discounts for 3 times a week? Or, hey, I'm thinking about doing a session with my 2 girlfriends once a week. Would there be, if they came to my house at the same time, would it be the same price per person, or would we get a discount? These are not unreasonable questions. In fact, I would rather a client ask that than lose a very lucrative opportunity. And in that instance, I'm pretty sure that personal trainer would rather that person ask, other than saying, guys, if we're going to pay the same price, why don't you guys just do it individually? Right? I mean, as a personal trainer, I can make, 2 to 3 times the amount of money in the same amount of time. And again, that is where but let's say for whatever reason, their business model really needs like that one-on-one, it's really high intensity. And he's like, I'd love to do that. However, you need my individual attention. I would love to do that, but you need my individual attention. So I can't do that. How much more is that? How much more um I'm trying to think of the right word. I just think that it's just speaks volumes of that person's character. And again, they're saying no to a discount, but they're creating loyalty with that customer and they're showing that customer how much they appreciate them and care. Um and then they didn't like me very much, so I'm just ignoring that. Um Yeah, I think that that's the main thing. So, you know, with customers asking why, I'm sorry, with customers asking for a discount, the real reason why is because it's culturally appropriate, even though a lot of people think it's not. It is. There's no one here that has never in their life asked for a discount, whether it's on a car lot, um, coupons at the grocery store, and you can shop at any store. Whole Foods, which is a fancy organic brand, has coupons and has sales. And if you ask them, a lot of times they'll tell you when something's going to be on sale. And you're probably going to buy it even if it's not on sale. But hey, if I can save some money, I will. And one last thing I want to say before we start closing into this is I want you guys to really think about, how you react to when a customer asks. Don't assume that they're being rude. I personally ask why. Actually, before I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Actually, one reason too is because they don't understand what we do in a fundamental way. So I'm trying to think of I had a really good example, and I'm sorry. This is what happens when you're live because this is the real world. So let's say they were like, "Hey, can you please give me a discount?" Because oh God, this is what happens in real life, huh? You're like, I had this great example, and then poof, it's gone. So I'm sorry, that one's gone. That is something we will edit out because you live people get to see the real deal. Everyone else thinks I'm just like brilliant all the time. Ha ha. It just is what it is sometimes. It has been a long day. I've had a lot of traveling. My brain is fried. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed. That's okay. You guys will forgive me or not. You could just be like, "Nope, River, never forgive you. Failure at life." But that's okay. I just want to make sure I have everything in that I had wanted. I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes. I just don't want people to assume that they're being assholes because it's not very fair. It's not very fair. There's so many good people that just want to know and they adore you. You have clients that adore you and would never leave you overpricing. And to assume that they're being cheap is just so rude. That to me is rude. Assuming that someone's cheap just because they're asking for a discount. Now, I will say if that person is insisting and asking are two totally different things. If you have somebody who's like, "Oh, blah 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 blah." Good example. Oh, like, because I have 4 dogs, I get a discount, right? And they'll have, like, that face, like, "I get a discount, right?" It's like you can see so much teeth. Um, you'd be like, "No." And guess what? Those people, you generally say no even if you could because they're being rude. And that to me is rude. They're like, "Oh, you're going to do this." And you're like, "No." Or, "Why?" You know, "Oh, when I have 4 dogs, you're going to give me a discount." And you stop and you look and you say, "Why?" And then you shut up, just be quiet, zippy lip, and just blank stare at them and let them think about that. And then they might say, "Well, because you're doing more than 1 dog." And you're like, "Yes." And you should stay quiet. And they're like, "So you're going to offer a discount?" And you can be like, "No." Because, good, bad, or indifferent, when you bring 4 dogs in to me, I would have done 4 dogs anyway. And if, I don't say, because the way I feel, the way I think is, and putting 4 dogs in a grooming salon schedule if you cancel, I'm not going to fill 4 spots. I am not filling 4 spots. That is not happening. Oh, yeah. So Shelly is saying the problem is new clients with discounts. Well, and again, it depends. Like, so I personally don't like giving new people discounts to come in. When I first opened my grooming salon, I used a Groupon, and this is back when Groupons were hip a long time ago because I'm getting old now. And it really devalued the price of my business. Um, and it pissed off a lot of my really fantastic clients because my fantastic clients were like, shit, they're getting a groom for like $35 and you're charging me 55. I'm going to buy this Groupon. And if those of you guys that haven't had a Groupon is 50% of what you earn. So they were being charged 35, but I was getting half at 35. So I was getting like no money. And I was mad at these customers because I'm like, shit, like you pay 55, you like my services. So why do you want a discount? But then I thought about it and I was like, well, the people that want a discount in the beginning, it's because they want a reason to try you, right? And the reason that we don't want discounts for people reoccurring forever is because we don't want to just give money away for no good reason. So this is why we need to know why. And yes, if you get a new client in the door and you want to give them a discount, that is completely up to you and your business model. But I actually charge in my cat grooming business. The first appointment's the most expensive because these cats always come in a fucking mess. Pardon my French. Like they are messy. They are normally either matted or they've got a lot of coat. Like think about your once a year husky. That is like my average first time cat client. But if I want them to come in every month at $100 to $165 a month, and I only take cats every 4 weeks, then their first appointment can't be cheap because then they don't see value coming again and again and again. I mean, you have to create value in your pricing, and your pricing has to make sense, and your pricing has to generally be based on it. Like, I personally will give I don't want to say a discount. Like, when my dog grooming salon, I didn't want once a year clients. And, you have to think about it. Again, upselling and discounts are essentially the same thing, just opposite ends. Um, it's kind of like you guys remember to a gas station and it says like cash price versus credit price. Are you getting a discount on the cash price or are you being charged extra for having a credit card? It's the same thing. It's just looking at it two different ways. So in my shop, if I have a once a year husky that I charge by the hour, let's say it's $150 for that once a year husky. Are they getting charged more? Or is the husky coming in every 4 weeks being charged, given a discount? I mean, it's the same thing. You're just looking at it from two different angles. It's ultimately what you want in your business, who you want, who you're going to have all the time. You know, I would argue that you're actually giving a discount to people that come in so if I have a client that comes in every 4 weeks and they're religiously awesome, and then I have a client that comes in every 8, technically you're giving the 8-week client a discount by them coming in every 8 weeks and paying the same amount of money as the client who came in every 4. Because that dog is definitely not in as good condition as the 4-week as it is 8. There's no way. Even if they're the best pet parent in the whole world. Like if I don't groom my standard poodle every 4 weeks, she's a fucking mess. She is, because I'll be honest, I'm bad. I don't brush her. But like, she's not bathed, she's not blow dry. She's got sticks in there. She's been swimming. She's crazy. I mean, she's actually a really good dog. She's not like lab crazy, but she's like poodle-y kind of crazy. So 8 weeks she's disgusting and filthy and grotty and gross. And so with the 4-week, if I charge the same as a 4-week as I would an 8-week, technically you are giving the 8-week people a discount because now you have to do twice the amount of work and you're not charging more. Shelly's saying, yes, the value grooming and upsell every time. How to train your clients, how to word it in advertising. I agree. How to word it in advertising is very important because it's, again, how you want to brand your business and how you want to train your clients. I will say that knowing your clientele is incredibly important. I do not upsell any of my clients, but my clients are high end and my clients pay a very high price point. So again, this is knowing your ideal clients, your dream clients, your soulmate clients. My soulmate client gets their cats bath and blow dried, possibly a comb cut every 4 weeks religiously. I do not take on anyone who does less than 4 weeks, and my price point is $100 for a short hair cat bath and $165 if they want a line cut. So most of my clients honestly are between $100 to $145. I don't always give everyone an upsell because the things I have to upsell are soft paws, which just get glued to me and I hate them. I mean, they're great if people want them, but I don't want to do them. And I have lots of text messages coming in. And the other thing is I don't charge extra for D-Shed. Why? Because I told them if you come in every 4 weeks to build that clientele faster, I had them come in every 4 weeks. I said, if you come in every 4 weeks, you get the discount because you get the free D-Shed. And then the other thing is my clientele are paying top dollar. I don't want to nickel and dime them. I don't want to have to sit there and upsell everyone. As a high-end client myself, you tell me what I need and I will buy. I get my nails done right now every 2 weeks. I get dip. And I do that because honestly, because I can't, I destroy my nails. It is what it is. And so whatever my nail technician tells me I need, I will do. I will do. Why? Because I think it's important. I think that I can trust them and I know that they will do what they need to do. And so I'm the kind of client, I don't ask generally for discounts in services, but if they say, hey, River, your nails, you need this treatment. I'm going to, okay, well, tell me a little bit more about it. And they're going to tell me more. I'm like, okay. And whatever it is, I will pay it, and it is what it is. That's the truth. So with that, and I don't want to go too far off my tangent because I know we're already at 42 minutes, is knowing your clientele. If you have the high-end Starbucks clients, they don't want upsells because they don't want to be sold on things. They just want to trust you and know that you're going to do it best. And so those clients are generally your 2 to 4 week clients who are automatically going to assume you're going to have whatever you need. Like, if I came into my hairdresser and they said, okay, River, you're going to get the Brazilian blow, which is like $400. Oh, and for $10 more, you can get the deep conditioner. And I'm like, well, do I need it? They're like, well, you should. I'm like, okay. And then you really need this glaze. I'm like, well, do I need this glaze? And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. If I had to be nickeled and dimed, I'd be like, look, just tell me what I need. Tell me how much it is and put it on my head. I don't want to sit there and be sold 30 times. And I do think a lot of upsells are bullshit. I fucking hate teeth brushing as an upsell. You're going to groom a dog for $45 and then charge a client $10 to stick a toothbrush in its mouth, which does nothing. The pricing doesn't make sense. I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but again, you have to know your business model. If you are a business where you do a lot of upsells, then you probably have Dunkin' Donuts clients because Dunkin' Donuts likes to, hey, you want some munchkins? Hey, you want a sandwich? Hey, do you want this? Hey, do you want that? They're constantly adding things on. When I go to Starbucks, they're like, what do you want? Because they know it's going to be some crazy drink. And I'm like, yeah, can I have a grande hot cinnamon dolce latte, no foam, add whip with coconut, please? And they're like, yes. And that'll be $6. I'm like, I don't care what it costs. Just make it right. So they make their money because I am I'm overcharged on a latte and I don't care. Versus when I go to Dunkin', the quality's not going to be as good because they can't make a good latte. Not yet. Maybe one day. But then they're going to ask me, they're going to say, hey, do you want a sandwich? And I'm like, bitch, do I look hungry? No, that's not what I say. No, I don't say that. But it's just funny because I'm like, no, like I don't want to be asked, do I want fries with that? Because I'm not that client. But I'm also the kind of client that if my latte jumped $1, I'd be like, meh, cost of prices. They're not going to tell me. They're just going to increase my prices. And I agree with you. Shelly, what Shelly was saying, I think is so smart, as far as, how to train your clients. And I know we've talked about this before. But it is so imperative. You guys have to train your clients. And I'm not saying in a nasty way. I mean, be a benevolent business owner, be kind, be nice. People don't deserve to be treated like shit. They don't want to be treated like shit. And if they treat you like shit, fire their ass. Fire them. Fuck them. Find a new person. Don't be we're not here to be berated by clients. But part of that is a lot of the pendulum has swung. We went from being doormats to being bullies, and we really need to find some healthiness in the middle. So, and value your grooming. And I think that's so true. I cannot tell you guys how many times people justify their prices in weird ways. I don't understand it. Like they'll be like, yeah, like the $10 upgrade for teeth brushing. I'm like, you charge $45 for to bathe, blow dry, clip nails, clean ears, do all these things. And then $10, which is 20, basically 20% for a 2-minute upsell. Why not charge, 50, I would say between 55 and 65 and just include the conditioner, just include the teeth brushing. But to me, that's my ideal client. I want a client that what you need, I will do, and just trust me to make that evaluation. Because, you know, see, I hated when I worked corporate. I really hate when I worked corporate. And I would have like a stanky once a year, like Newfie or Golden or Cocker. And I really needed that shampoo with baking soda, the one that cuts the grease and makes the dog not smell like a disgusting yeasty ball of death. Yeah, I needed that shampoo, but I was told I had to tell you to upgrade the $15 or $25 package that you didn't want to pay in order to do that. And I was like, this is stupid. Like, I need these products to do my job. And so for me, I don't like upsells because I don't want to leave it in their hands to make a decision about what I need to do as a professional. So that's what I don't like. However, when I had my shop in the beginning, my upsells were simply I had my monthly bathing program and I would upsell, hey, did you want a haircut today? Versus, next week and things like that. But I also had a staff up front who could be able to communicate that because some people are bad at selling, you know, but it is up to you guys. And that's what I love about this industry. We have so many options. I mean, how cool is it? We have salons with or without employees. We have house call. We have mobile. We have all these amazing options. I mean, we have people who just do dogs, people that do both, and people that do cats. It's amazing. And because of that, you get to carve out whatever type of business you want, any way you want. You want to do lots of add-ons? You go, girl. You take all those things. You make those cute little signs. You make like spa of the month. I actually really loved those and eventually got sick of it because I just added it in. I'm like, this month it's this. I so I'm laughing because I used to argue with my receptionist because I loved vanilla cupcake kind of smell for Christmas and everyone else loved like the pine needle smell. And I would be like, no, Christmas is cookies. My shop will smell like cookies all Christmas. And so I remember like fighting about that because I was like, no, we're going to do this. And it was fun. And, but that was a different time in my life and it was a different business model than what I have now. Now my clients would think I was nuts if I tried to upsell them because I charge way more than I need to break even. But I do that because I want to give them all my time and attention. The time and attention that I could take. We used to have 1,200 dog clients in my grooming salon. There's a lot of people to take care of. And now I have 100. And now my time and energy is spread from 1,200 to only 100. And so I'm gonna have a better business model in my mind, but that's because it's who I am. I want to love on them more individually. And if you want to grow your shop, it's all on how you want to do it. And I know we've talked about this in They're Not All Your Customer series. It's knowing what your business model is like. And even high-end clients are going to ask about discounts. And don't take it personally. Don't worry. They're going to ask and they don't mean anything by it. And the people that do, just fire them. If they're nasty, just fire them. Just move on. There are plenty of dogs and cats to be groomed. Go to the dog park, hand out your cards, however you're going to That's actually like the worst people. I find people that like hang out at dog parks all the time are like the worst dog grooming clients because their dogs are always disgusting. Like, yeah, I'm in near the ocean. Like, yeah, we took him swimming yesterday and he's all like covered in, we have what's called red tide, which is basically disgusting seaweed. And we'd have like doodles covered in red tide and they smelt like decaying seaweed. You know, those were, but different time, different business model. And now I'm very happy I'm doing cats. I'm like, everyone's like, oh, I hate cats. I'm like, I love them because they don't come in covered in needles and not needles, but like pine needles, although not around Christmas they might. But anyway, I digress. I really appreciate everyone being here live. Um, Always feel free to share. I'm never attacking anybody. We may disagree on certain things, but don't take that personally. Please, I love when you guys share. I will never judge you. I'm always going to give you my opinion because that's all I have. I have things that I learn from not just the grooming industry, but also outside the grooming industry. But I also want to share everything about my knowledge because I think it's great when we can kind of disagree. I love the saying, the only way to grow is through contrast. And I think that's true. It's through the disagreement that we figure out what we actually believe, and things that I believed, God, now 4 or 5 years ago, or even longer, I don't believe now, but that's because I've grown a different business. And so now, and because of my personality, I like that my clients are really close with me and we have a really great relationship. It also makes it really hard to move on, but it's really nice that they know me. I would love to do some advertising topics, Shelly, for the show. If you have anything specific, I don't know if you are on Facebook at all. If you just look up the Savvy Groomer on Facebook and you want to drop me a PM on any ideas you guys have for the show, I would love them. I'm always accepting ideas and I would just love, 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 love to dive deeper into things. I just never know what you guys want. So if you want to give me some ideas, I would love that. And that would be great. So absolutely, either put comments below here after the show is over, what you would like, and just put, potential topic for next time. And if you want, we can talk there. Or like I said, go to Facebook and we're going to have, just look up the Savvy Groomer and you'll see our business page. We're upgrading a lot of stuff. Yay. Which I'm really excited about. We are redoing our website and we're going to be having a challenge very soon in our Facebook group. And if you haven't already joined, please consider joining Finances for the Grooming Industry, which is my group, my free group. Like the Savvy Groomer page. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys next week. I am going to be traveling the rest of this week. However, I will be back on Saturday, which I'm really looking forward to being home and relaxing. As you can hear, my voice is cracking a little bit. I'm a little tired. It's been a long time. But thank you guys so much for being live. I hope this has answered your questions. If you have more questions or if you have anything you want me to continue to clarify, you can always, like I said, find me on my Facebook business page for the Savvy Groomer. You can join my free Facebook group, my free Facebook group, Finances for the Grooming Industry. You're welcome to come and get ready for our launch of our online course, Personal Finances on a Leash. We walk you through 12 weeks of getting your finances under control. I look forward to you guys next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Grow Wealthy Grooming. As always, guys, this is River Lee, founder of the Savvy Groomer. Happy grooming, guys.